The videos explores the dynamics between the 8 Bridgerton siblings from the Netflix series Bridgerton and speculates about their favorite sibling relationships based on the show's narrative and the original books by Julia Quinn. Each sibling has a distinct personality and strong bonds with certain family members. Anthony, the eldest, is closest to Benedict, while Benedict has a deep connection with Eloise, as they both defy societal expectations. Colin, like Benedict, is also closest to Eloise, sharing her curiosity and adventurous nature. Daphne relies heavily on Anthony, given his protective role in her life. Eloise looks up to Benedict for his nonconformist attitude, and Francesca, though distant, may form stronger bonds in the future, especially with Eloise. The youngest siblings, Gregory and Hyacinth, are inseparable due to their closeness in age, but as they grow older, new relationships may emerge among the Bridgertons. All 8 Bridgerton siblings and who their favorite brother or sister is. Bridgerton may be about the Bridgerton siblings finding their true loves, but no matter what, each character relies on their family members the most, and everyone secretly has their favorite sibling. After 3 seasons of Bridgerton, every Bridgerton sibling has a clearly defined personality and motive. Eloise is the black sheep of the family, while Anthony is the responsible one and Colin is the adventurer. Along with that, audiences have gotten a taste of the Bridgerton siblings' relationships with each other, giving big hints as to who might be each other's favorite brother or sister. Of course, Bridgerton never truly reveals who each Bridgerton likes the best. Amid the romantic drama and countless ton activities, there isn't much time for the family to parse out who likes who best. However, audiences can definitely make some theories based on each Bridgerton's behavior. Not only does the show offer some clues, but the books also provide insight into the Bridgerton siblings that pair the best. Overall, viewers can make their own assumptions as to how the Bridgerton family relates to each other. Anthony's favorite is Benedict. Anthony and Benedict are an inseparable duo. Although Anthony is often portrayed as a private and rather lonely character, his favorite sibling is probably Benedict. The main link that ties the two together is their age. Anthony and Benedict are the 2 eldest boys of the family and likely spent a lot of time together growing up. This bond is even showcased on the show. Anthony and Benedict are constantly going out together, whether it is getting their faces shaved or visiting Mondrich's club. Anthony may be somewhat secretive about his feelings, but Benedict is still his right-hand man, through and through. Will Anthony and Kate return in Bridgerton Season 4? Bridgerton Season 3 saw Anthony and Kate hit key relationship milestones, but it is unclear whether their growth will continue into Season 4. A close second for Anthony's favorite sibling would likely be Daphne. Anthony and Daphne have a notably close bond during Bridgerton Season 1, and Anthony seems to have the most anxiety about Daphne's future. He clearly loves her dearly and cares a lot about her happiness. Yet, at the end of the day, Anthony's closest confidant would have to be his wife, Kate. Kate is who Anthony can truly be vulnerable with, which unfortunately leaves his siblings in the dust. Benedict's favorite is Eloise. Benedict and Eloise are 2 black sheep. Despite the fact that Anthony's favorite sibling is likely Benedict, Benedict's favorite sibling is probably Eloise. Benedict and Anthony certainly have a close relationship, but Benedict's bond with Eloise definitely reaches a much deeper level. Mostly, this is because Benedict and Eloise are the 2 black sheep of the family. Neither of them wishes to pursue a traditional Regency life, and because of that, they are often seen as troublesome or silly. Benedict and Eloise can relate to each other on a level that far exceeds any of the other Bridgerton siblings. Benedict and Eloise's relationship is perfectly encapsulated by a scene near the end of Bridgerton Season 3. Benedict and Eloise are hanging out on a pair of swings and basically bare their souls to each other. Benedict wonders if he is almost ready for love, while Eloise comes to the conclusion that she is who she is and the ton will never change that. This conversation shows how Benedict and Eloise can be their truest selves together. It seems likely that Eloise will play a notable role in Benedict's upcoming Season 4. Colin's favorite sibling is Eloise. Colin and Eloise are explorers at heart. Colin is yet another Bridgerton sibling whose favorite is most likely Eloise. In general, Colin tends to be a more emotional and sensitive Bridgerton, and he often forms bonds with a wide array of people, from Marina Thompson to Penelope. However, when it comes to his family, Colin seems to have the tightest bond with Eloise. Both characters are curious and bold by nature, and in Season 3, Colin and Eloise's relationship is put in the spotlight, as they are torn apart and brought back together again by Penelope. Surprisingly, Colin also has a very close relationship with Daphne in Julia Quinn's Bridgerton books. Colin and Daphne often give each other advice and commiserate over the difficulties of love. Though this bond doesn't really come through in the Bridgerton show, it makes sense based on their personalities. Colin and Daphne both wear their hearts on their sleeves and are romantics. In this way, they would definitely have a lot to talk about if Daphne were still on the show. Daphne's favorite sibling is Anthony. Daphne relies on Anthony like no one else. Based on the little audiences have seen of Daphne throughout Bridgerton, it seems like her favorite sibling would be Anthony. As previously mentioned, Daphne and Anthony get a significant amount of screen time together during Bridgerton Season 1 as Anthony accompanies Daphne to balls and oversees her betrothal. While Anthony and Daphne often bicker and disagree, the source of these disagreements is pure love. Anthony is Daphne's protector, and the opposite is true during Anthony's season when he struggles to accept his love for Kate. Bridgerton Season 3 made Daphne's absence completely unforgivable. Phoebe Dynevor's exit from Bridgerton was already disappointing, but the events of Bridgerton Season 3 made Daphne's absence much, much worse. In many ways, Daphne and Anthony exemplify a traditional older brother/younger sister relationship, especially in the context of the Regency era. This makes them stand out among the Bridgerton siblings, though it is a shame viewers haven't been able to see more of them together. In actuality, it would be great to see Daphne interact more with all of her siblings. It would be especially intriguing to see Daphne and Francesca together, as they seem to share many commonalities. Perhaps Daphne could have another favorite sibling if given the chance. Eloise's favorite sibling is Benedict. Eloise understands and emulates Benedict. Just as Eloise is Benedict's favorite sibling, Benedict is Eloise's favorite as well. The same reasons still apply. Eloise and Benedict get each other in a way that their siblings would likely never understand. Even more than that, Benedict is likely a role model for Eloise. Being younger than Benedict, Eloise likely looked up to her big brother. His own unique personality probably showed her that it's okay to be different, even in such a rigid society. In this way, Benedict helped Eloise stay true to herself, even without realizing it. In Season 3, it became clear that Francesca is also a bit different from her family members, and perhaps her time with Eloise will show her that it's okay to not conform to society's standards. Arguably, Eloise could inhabit the same role for Francesca. At the end of Bridgerton Season 3, Eloise decides to accompany Francesca to Scotland, which means the sisters will be spending a lot more time together. In Season 3, it became clear that Francesca is also a bit different from her family members, and perhaps her time with Eloise will show her that it's okay to not conform to society's standards. Eloise can teach Francesca that there's nothing wrong with being an introvert or pursuing a different kind of relationship than the norm. Francesca doesn't have a favorite sibling. Who Francesca could form a strong bond with? It may seem like a controversial scenario, but it seems likely that Francesca does not have a favorite sibling. Throughout the past 3 seasons of Bridgerton, Francesca has had very little screen time, and even less interaction with her siblings. During Season 3, most of her time was spent with her mother or with her husband-to-be, John Sterling. Thus, it is very hard to figure out how Francesca views her other siblings, much less which one she likes the most. Arguably, Francesca seems to need space from her entire family. Regardless, Francesca has the potential to grow close to a number of her siblings, and it would be great if she did. As previously mentioned, Francesca and Eloise will be spending more time together in Scotland, which could bring them closer together. Francesca could also likely learn a lot from Benedict, especially since they are both LGBTQ. Furthermore, Francesca's bond with her younger siblings may allow audiences to become more attached to the littlest Bridgertons. Gregory's favorite sibling is Hyacinth. Gregory and Hyacinth's ages make them inseparable. Just like Anthony and Benedict, Gregory and Hyacinth have a very strong bond due to their closeness in age. From the very start of Bridgerton, it has become clear that the 2 youngest Bridgertons have the most in common with each other. They are too young to court or take part in the ton, so they often spend their time playing together. As a result, audiences don't really know much about Gregory yet, and they likely won't for another couple of seasons. However, in the meantime, it is wonderful to see the playful relationship between Gregory and Hyacinth. Before Gregory gets his season, Bridgerton will have to break Netflix's most difficult record. If Bridgerton wants to adapt all of Julia Quinn's novels, it must break a record that even Netflix's most popular shows couldn't achieve. In the future, it would be really amazing to see Gregory form a closer bond with his older brothers. It is unfortunate that such a large age gap separates Gregory from Anthony, Benedict, and Colin, but as Gregory gets older, he will be able to relate to his brothers more and more. From there, they will be able to give him advice and include him in their escapades. This would be a very touching change to Bridgerton that would probably melt a lot of audiences' hearts. Hyacinth's favorite sibling is Gregory. Hyacinth's new bond with Francesca explained. Hyacinth likely views Gregory as her favorite sibling as well. The two spend so much time together that it would be impossible for the pair not to be the best of friends. However, unlike Gregory, there are glimpses of Hyacinth creating better bonds with some of her other siblings. For example, Hyacinth spends a lot of time with Francesca during season 3 because of her interest in the ton and courting. As Francesca bemoans the courting season, Hyacinth seems to yearn for it herself. This new time spent together could result in a stronger bond. Arguably, Hyacinth's best sibling pairing would probably be with Daphne. Where Hyacinth's other sisters have resented the courting process, Daphne seemed to thrive in it. The two would likely have a lot to discuss when it comes to dresses and suitors and balls. It would definitely be a sweet sisterly bonding moment, especially as Hyacinth gets older and is in much more need of advice. However, as Bridgerton continues airing new seasons, these Bridgerton sibling relationships have the potential to change in any number of ways. Bridgerton. From Shondaland and creator Chris Van Dusen, Netflix's Bridgerton is based on the romance novels of the same name by author Julia Quinn. The series follows the 8 Bridgerton siblings, Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Francesca, Gregory, and Hyacinth, as they search for love during the social season and navigate life in Regency-era England. Cast: Luke Newton, Joanna Bobin, Florence Hunt, Claudia Jessie, Ruby Barker, Martin Zimhangby, Isabella Cortez, Luke Thompson, Charithra Chundran, Simone Ashley, Ajoa Ando, Ben Miller, Golda Rocheval, Ruth Gemmell, Nicola Coughlan, Jonathan Bailey, Regine Page, Phoebe Dynevor, Will Tilston, Ruby Stokes, Julie Andrews, Shelley Kahn, Polly Walker.